And welcome back to another episode of Our Community. If you would, just take a quick second to click that like and subscribe button so I can continue to do this and provide you great local content. Thanks for joining. I've got a special guest here today, Rancer Huntington, a great friend of mine, someone very influential on my career, someone that gave me a lot of confidence, motivation when I was a little nervous about stepping into my role. He's a great entrepreneur, risk taker, and he's the man in my book. So, Rancer, welcome, buddy. Thanks for joining me on a short notice. Thank you. It's appreciative.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Man, so I look at you and think everybody knows this guy, but there's people out there that don't. Just kind of tell us a little bit about you, bud.
Sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes that's
stay
a
low
bad
key.
thing.
Yeah,
stay a little low key.
Yeah.
But a lot of people know me in town, so that's for sure.
Tell us a little about your background. Where you from?
Well, I was born and raised here in Richmond, Indiana. A little bitty house down there by the old boys club. I graduated from Richmond High School in 1980.
That's not dating you, man. That's the year I was born, bro.
I'm old. Real old. But I'm still here, and I don't feel that bad. So a lot of people over the years I've known they're not here. So I feel grateful every day I'm on the planet. So
it's a great guy. Just kind of discuss your role. What's your role in our community?
Well, I don't really think I have a role. I have a business that's State Line Medical Equipment. We provide, hospital beds, wheelchairs, lift chairs, ostomy supply, wound care, diabetic shoes. Basically, what we try to do is keep people in their home safely. If somebody's coming out of rehab, the home, we try to get them equipment so they can stay at home and safely be at home. I had a little jaunt with the golf course there in Winding Branch, and I liked doing it, but I couldn't give 100% to that and still give 100% to State Line Medical. So definitely sold that to move on to make sure I concentrate 100% on the medical equipment.
Yeah, so a couple things there. Well, I don't want to just brush over the golf course thing. I'm going to come back to that. But how long have you been doing the State Line Medical Supply? How long has that been?
I believe this January will be 18 years that we've been in business in the medical field.
Successful business. Good for you, bro.
Yep.
So back to this golf course thing. How does a guy get to where he owns a golf course? I just started playing, but you actually own the freaking golf course.
Well, me and the bank own the golf course, so let's get that straight.
Yeah.
But actually, I bought the golf course. It was I hadn't planned on buying a golf course, honestly, but a friend of mine, there was a aquifer underneath that ground over there, and I thought that the government was buying up ground that had aquifers underneath it, and I thought I would be able to sell it to the government and still be able to have the golf course.
Okay.
Well, that didn't quite pan out like
Gotcha.
I thought. So then I sort of got stuck with the golf course. I had to pay every time.
Gotcha.
But I did a lot of work over there, and it started getting better and better and better. I actually thought about making it farm ground because I could have sold it and made a lot more just on farm ground. Farm ground going for about $12,000 an acre right now. Yeah. But I didn't want to take that out of the community at Cambridge, and the people that bought it are doing a great job with it. It's thriving. It's still there. So I'm glad I didn't sell it. It's not always about money.
Yeah, yeah. What's it about for you?
Money. No. Everybody wants to make money, but you want to make it the right way,
Yeah.
I don't want to step on anybody's toes. I don't want to take anything that's not mine.
Yeah.
My grandma and grandfather, they raised me, and they just taught me what was right and what was wrong.
Yeah.
If you do good things will happen. And people always go, how come you're so lucky? And I said, I don't know. I just believe I'm lucky, Mm-hmm. I try to treat everybody fair. Am I outspoken? Yeah, I'm outspoken, mm-hmm. but I would treat everybody the same, and I do win a lot of the, 50-50 drawings. I do win a lot of tournaments, but I believe I'm going to win, I don't say it's arrogance, but I'm just confident that I will.
I think that you breathe positive energy, and you will help anyone. And I think that just comes back to you full circle. Those, whether you hit a contest like that or a lucky card to win a jackpot or something like that, mm-hmm. that just comes with who you are, man. I think, that's just, you're just breathing, positive energy, and it's coming back to you for what you're putting into the community. So that's how I feel.
Well, like I said, I would like to give back. I'd like to give more sometimes, but I am still a small business, and I have a lot of people that not depend on me, but they want me to donate, so between baseball teams, I donate to the Townsend Center, the Parkinson's, the Cancer Society, the Alzheimer's Walk. I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there, and a lot of people that's not even there that need help, that come in that maybe can't afford a hospital bed or don't qualify for a hospital bed. We try to take care of those people the best we possibly can. Or if they need a lift chair, I keep some used stuff and I donate it back to them. It's not always about making money, but you got to make money to stay in business.
Right.
So, I try to, I want to say, I don't want to say this right, but there's people that have it and there's people that don't have it.
Yeah.
So the people that don't have it, I try to make sure that they get what they need. Okay. The people that have it, they'll be able to get the equipment and stuff prior to somebody that might not be able to get it or don't qualify for it or don't have the money to buy it.
Yeah.
So I just sort of look at them as I knew I grew up very poor. My grandma used to say, we're so poor we can't pay attention, Yeah. So I always just try to give it back as much as I possibly can.
It's great to watch. So, I mean, you've been in our community forever. You grew up here. You live here. And I know with a business like yours, I mean, you could establish really a location anywhere and move anywhere. I know if you got a couple other locations where you may vacation and live at. What keeps you grounded in our community? Why do you invest here? What keeps you here?
Well, I grew up here, so that's where my roots are at. Years ago, my grandmother wanted me to move to Kentucky, but my family was here, and I know it sounds weird, but my friends were here. My friends are my family, and I know that sounds a little weird. I've never met my dad. I don't know who he is.
Wow.
So, like I said, my grandma and grandpa raised me, but my friends was my family. And moving away from Richmond, that's never been a thing I ever wanted to do. Now, I moved to Westchester for 2 years, and then I was like, I'm moving back. I'm just not a big city type person.
Okay.
I'm more laid back, and where everybody knows me, and I know everybody, and I feel comfortable, and I've always felt comfortable in Richmond, just who I am, I guess.
Yeah. Rancer, with local business in mind, education, business development, employment opportunities, with things like that in mind, where would you like to see our community within the next 5 years?
Man, that's a tough question. What I would like to see our community in the next 5 years is, that sounds mean, but I would like to get the roads and stuff done so people have businesses. People are not afraid to come here. People are paying taxes on their houses. Some of the areas that we need cleaned up. Our government needs to quit building. I hate saying this too, but we spend money on things that we could give to the community to help them with their housing and, make their houses better instead of putting in real expensive bicycle paths. I mean, we got to figure a way to take and help those people out. They're still paying taxes on a home, while the roof's leaking, the stove's not working, and they're working every single day and not getting any help. So if you want to ask me what I think that we need, that's what I think. We need to help the people in the community, that pay their taxes and try to make a living, that are struggling day to day.
Yeah.
know.
Okay. Being a lifelong resident, I'm sure you've seen some cool things happen within our community, cool events. What is one thing that you miss, one thing that you would like to see come back?
Well, like I said,
I know there's people out there that would like to see racks. I hear that.
Well, I like racks and I like Powerhouse and I like to see an A&W that you drive up, the drive-throughs up. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
But Richmond has sort of stayed. Honestly, it's stayed pretty true. I mean, everything is. There's a lot to do in a small town actually here, and people always say there's nothing to do. Well, I was in Westchester and I hear the same people saying the same thing. There ain't nothing to do. Right across the street from my neighbors, he had kids. So, I don't know. I think Richmond's done a fairly decent job. Like I said, I just wish we could try to fix up some of the housing that needs fixed up to bring them guys up to a level where it doesn't look like you're on this side of town or that side of town. It looks like we're all on the same side of town,
Yeah.
That if I was picking something, But as far as bring back something, maybe I like the concerts that they're doing. I think that's a great. I love what they're doing in downtown on East Street by closing the street off and doing the concerts and stuff and doing the ice shows. And I think that's really cool because I go to a lot of that stuff. I was just at the Blast Under the Past this last week, and I have not missed one of those. So, and I think that's really cool. Things like that where all the community can come out and everybody can relax and get off work for a little bit of time and just forget about their cares and their worries, because it's getting tougher for everybody,
Yeah, we need that.
for all of us, So it's good to get a breakaway instead of just going to work for 8-10 hours or whatever, and then struggling to pay your electric bill and your light bill, and put gas in the car. So.
Yeah. So, Rance, you think about your years here and your community involvement, being an entrepreneur and a business owner. What is the most memorable experience you've had being in this community?
Most memorable moment. This is going to sound crazy, but memorable moment was when my nephew Des Bain got drafted by the NBA. That for me, that was pretty cool. Somebody coming from Richmond, I knew his his grandpa. I grew up with him, and he was a very good basketball player. I thought one of the best I'd ever seen. His name was Robbie Willis, and I thought Robbie was one of the best players I've ever seen or ever played against. And I played against Ron Harper, and I played against Wally Zobiak, and I thought he could take either one of them.
Being a sports fan, so I'm gonna add someone shift gears. So what's your local talent basketball? What's your top 5? Not just Richmond High School, all around.
Oh man,
top 5. You brought Robbie Willis. Who else?
I would say Jack Williams played really. He was a good player. Woody was a good player.
This one's gonna start some stuff.
I'm going to be honest. Dez is the best.
Okay.
Who would be another one? Probably Gene Spicer. I saw him when I was younger, and Gene Spicer always stayed in my head when I went to schools and stuff and seen him play. It's always stayed in my head that Gene, he was a good player, So I would say there's my 5 that I like the best.
All right. Rancer, what advice would you give someone that wants to get more involved in the local community efforts but may not know how or know where to start? What would you share with that person?
Well, there's all kinds of things that we do to raise money in this town. I mean, we have the Parkinson's Golf Tournament at the Elks. That's a good start, to help people. We also have the Walk for Alzheimer's. Reed does a lot with that. We have the Townsend Center that's good for the kids and stuff. That helps out a lot of kids that are less fortunate. There's a lot of programs in Richmond. You just maybe go to the chamber, I guess, and see what they've got there. But there's a lot of opportunities to help out other people in Richmond, Indiana. Trust me, we're a small community, and not like I said, I try not to say anything mean, but this is a poor community. It's not like a rich community like where you could go over to like Westchester where I lived at. I mean, that was very well off. People don't even ask prices of a lift chair. They say, bring me a lift chair. Here it's like going, you got payment plans, and I understand, trust me.
Yeah.
But a little different here.
Understandable. This one's going to put you on the spot.
Told you not to put me on the spot. But.
If you can give our community a letter grade, A through F, like a report card, what grade would you give our community and why?
Man, well, you did put me on the spot, didn't you? Well, I haven't been in a lot of other communities, but I lived in Liberty for 26 years, I believe. Mm-hmm. I'd probably give us a B minus maybe. I mean, there's things that I see that I would do differently, but
like what?
It's like when they were doing the road shutdown. I'd have probably done it all at one time, and I don't know how the funding and stuff goes for that, but I know as a business, my road was shut down for almost 5 years, and that's on US 27. Then they're shutting it down again, the bridge. Now they're shutting it on the other side. I would have thought maybe we did that all at one time, and this is going to be 5 miles of road that's going to take, at the end of it, it's going to be about 8 years. Wow. I mean, they discovered the Wild West in 7 years, so, I mean, they built bridges and everything else. And I'd like to see us use our money differently. I don't know how those grants work or whatever, but like I said, help some of these people get their homes put back in shape so the roof's not leaking. They work for those homes. They don't want to lose them. I just wish there was some way that we can give money back to people that needs work on their homes for maybe the windows. And everybody don't qualify, because I remember somebody say, well, you got that Humana. They put the windows stuff. Everybody don't qualify for that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So maybe just get some of the housing and stuff fixed up a little bit better.
We've had some of them come down. We need another program where they get put back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, or if we want to do a fundraiser stuff, maybe that's something we do. And every year we pick a couple of houses, that we put windows in or put a roof on, or that would be a good project that I've always wanted to do, is something like that, where we can raise money to help the people that are here, that are right on that fall line where they can't receive any help. They're on a fixed income, where they make just enough to not to get anything.
Gotcha. Rancer, are there any upcoming events, projects within our community that you're particularly excited about that you would like to highlight?
Yes, we have a couple. One of them that I fund, it's the Townsend Center. We're going to be having a golf outing. It started out 6 years ago, and we raised a little bit of money, and next year we raised a little bit more money, and it's starting to really catch on. We started out with like 8 teams, then it was 12 teams. Last year, I think we had 16 teams or 18 teams. Hoping to get 25 teams this year.
I'm in this year. Yeah.
We did good too. Like last year, we raised almost $10,000. That was pretty good, considering it's a little bitty golf tournament.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
And we don't raise that money unless the people donate. Townsend Center is all by donations.
Shout out to Townsend Center.
Yeah, they're all by donations. And Lucinda Wright, you can send a shout out to her.
Shout out to Dr. Lucinda Wright, a fellow board member.
But they've got a lot of people on the board, and they're helping out kids that, that might be the only meal they get. And we're feeding, I think, 62 kids a day. So, then they got the Parkinson's tournament that's going to be at the Elks later this year. That's September 9th. And the Townsend Center golf tournament is October 6th, I believe, or 7th, October 7th on Saturday. We still got openings, and if anybody wants to donate for our sponsor signs, we have, those are $100. Anybody want to donate some gifts, we give gifts away. I give gifts away for 1 hour last year. So I thought that was really cool. I was thinking people got tired of me talking, but they liked it. They said, I've never given out that many gifts before.
Wow.
So that was really cool. We have like I said, whole sponsors. We have a corporate sponsor. I think it's like $500, and we'll put you on all the signs on our website, on the shirts. So, like I said, if anybody wants to sponsor, the money's going to a good cause. It's going to help some kids. Trust me.
Yeah. This next question, I got asked. My co-host at the time actually interviewed me, and I got asked this question next, and you were actually one of the people on my list. So as the most influential. So is there anyone that do you like to give a shout out to that was either influential in your upbringing, your career, the path that you're on, someone in your staff? Who would you like to give a shout out to? Well,
it goes to multiple people, but I'd give a shout out to my grandmother and grandfather who raised me, taught me right from wrong. If I started messing up, they wasn't afraid to give me that pop that I needed. Only give that to kids this day, but I stayed in line, I could have been a bad kid. I seen some bad stuff going around, but right from wrong.
Yeah.
And then I'd say the other thing that's I'm not where I'm at without my employees. I'd say my employees is my biggest shout out.
Okay.
Even I'm divorced, but my ex-wife, we started State Line Medical, and prior to that, we had a pizza place. It's called DNS Video and Pizza, and we had 3 of those.
In Liberty, right?
Had one in Liberty, had one in College Corner, had one in Brookville.
Okay.
And that was sort of how we got started in business,
Yeah.
And the last person that I will give a shout out to, he's not here no more, but it was from Vandal Corporation. His name was Bill Barth, and he put me under his wing when I was designing the cardboard caskets there at our Elder Davis.
Okay.
So I'd say a big shout out to him, because he was, like I said, I never had a father figure really, so he was pretty much my father figure, and I was at a young age.
Yeah.
So he taught me a lot of stuff about business. So
wow, humble man, humble beginnings, and
got to be.
I'm very thankful to call you my friend, bud.
I think we'll call you my friend too.
Yeah. So, Rance, thanks for joining me today on another episode of Our Community. It's been great hanging out with you, and getting here on a short notice is very appreciative. Thank you. Please hit that like and subscribe button so I can keep bringing you more local content and putting more people in your face that you may have not known about.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, bud.